We're going to be here all day. We're going to be here all day, baby. I like this kind of party.
Welcome back to the Wayback, everybody. Ryan Sickler here. Excited to be here. Thank you guys for watching this show and supporting this show. I absolutely love digging into people's past and having a good time here in the Wayback. And I'm very excited to have this guest with me today. Ladies and gentlemen, Joey McIntyre. Welcome to the Wayback, buddy.
Jeez, man. Come on.
I'm
sorry, I forget
like,
your performance.
We're in this car here, and you got to just screaming at me in the car. I'm a method actor. I'm here.
Before we get into whatever we're going to talk about, plug it all right there.
Oh,
brother.
plug. Jeez, I'm a Capricorn. I like walks on the beach, and just love me. Just follow me forever and ever.
Go see you live.
Yeah, I'm probably on the road somewhere at this point. My new album, Freedom.
There we go.
You got to check it out. It's worth it. 10 songs, 32 minutes. It's the perfect car ride, actually.
You're right.
So there you go.
Speaking of car rides, this seat, you're 52.
Why you gotta tell everybody, man?
Because I'm blown away by how good you look. You got crystal blue eyes, bro.
I told
Watch
you,
this honeydew. I sat there and stared into your eyes. Aren't just for men, bro.
Just for men. There's no ads. There's no fame. They don't need famous people. But I want the just for men brand.
You know what?
Why not?
They haven't needed a famous person.
They got that new one though. With they got all the celebrities. Travis Kelce is on one. Did you see it?
Just for men? No,
it's not. It's a different brand.
Oh, but it's still hair dye stuff. I see.
Yeah.
Trying to make dyeing your hair cool. That's what they're doing.
I guess so.
Well, bro, you're making it look good.
Thanks, man.
This seat here, the Wayback seat, did the family have a car?
9 kids, youngest of 9 kids. You'd think there'd be some station wagons.
What's your get around
I don't know if we had
a van?
Station wagon. We always had, Buicks was so huge back then. I mean, a Buick you could fit,
You could pack the whole. You could get all 9 in that thing.
You could bring a whole country over. You could smuggle some people in a Buick. You know what I'm saying? That's where I'm going. That's the pause. No, but my friends had them, and they were the coolest. This seat was the coolest seat on the road. To pop that down, you're looking out, and you're like there with your buddy, and like everybody else was over there, and it's like it was your own little space. Yeah.
So let's jump into that. One of 9 kids. Where are you on the line again?
Baby.
The youngest?
Youngest, yep. 7 girls, then my brother, then me.
So the 2 boys are the last.
Yeah.
Man, what are you?
They took it out on him, and then I was the golden child.
Was your dad trying for a boy, or was you just
no,
the Irish family?
Irish Catholic. They just kept going. As my mother would say, the blood is falling out of me. Legit. She didn't drive anywhere, actually. She walked everywhere, so she'd take buses and trains and tell a million different stories. He's going to be a priest, he would say, too.
So what's the age gap between oldest and you?
18 years.
Holy shit. A whole adult.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah,
are you close?
Yeah. Yeah, we are.
I mean, it's got to be tough to be. It's got to be
close.
Yeah,
with 9 kids. Yeah,
18's already somehow gone out of the house.
It's touch and go.
Yeah,
sometimes. But
so, talk to me about growing up. I mean, are you sharing a room?
Yeah, me and my brother. We had bunk beds. Remember the working class when there was actually a middle class?
Yeah,
like my dad had
I'm wondering if you had like a
union job at the time. We had. What happened was. We had one of those boxy houses.
Do you remember the address?
Oh, yeah.
Does anyone still live there?
None of us.
All right.
No.
Can we look it up?
Well, I mean.
Let's look it up.
All my stuff is out there, but 20 Orchard Street.
That's a good point.
02130.
You've had people in your hotel rooms and shit. Your shit's out there.
Yeah, exactly. Look at these freaking houses now, bro.
Dude.
I grew up in this neighborhood. Every house needed a paint job.
Yeah.
Look at the one on the right, this Victorian. That's spectacular.
Beautiful.
Spectacular.
What did it look like? Did it at least frame like that when you grew up? Wait, there's 2007. Here we go.
Put the 1970s filter on there. So, yeah. That's the driveway I drove up. You see what I'm saying? I pulled up a driveway. Yeah.
From the Honeydew episode, this is the house where 60...
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Oh, that is my dad's paint job. Because see that color?
Yeah.
I think my dad was colorblind.
What did he think that was?
Like a nice... chill green. He didn't.
That's our honeydew green. That ain't chill at all.
It's fluorescent. Oh, look, see, he was a Democrat. Pull up. What's that sign?
What is that? John
Tobin, who's a big comedy guy. Do you play Boston?
No. I mean, yeah, but I don't know John Tobin.
You know Laugh Boston?
Yeah, that's the club I go to when I'm there.
John manages that club.
Nuh-uh.
He also moonlighted as a Boston City councilor.
That guy
was a Boston City councilor. Now he doesn't do that anymore. Now he's all in on the club. He'll love that freaking shout out.
Oh hell yeah! I love Laugh Boston. It's a great club.
Wow, look at that. So this whole
11 people are growing up in this house.
11. Can you swing it around across the street? This used to be, growing up, a field.
Nothing.
It was a big, huge lot, and you could just build forts all year round.
Yeah, like what are you doing?
They never lasted.
Like, are you going and getting wood and shit?
Like a plank or some But and then right to the right behind that tree is the Conroys. They used to the other one, the blue. Yeah,
the blue there.
Yeah,
that's the Conroy.
Eileen
is that
Conroy.
Mr. and Mrs. Conroy right here? Who else?
Might be.
Look
Yeah.
at that. Yeah.
How you doing?
Weird.
Anyways,
so winters, are you going out and shoveling these people's driveways and sidewalks to make money?
Hell no.
No. Oh yeah, you're what the fuck am I thinking? I know where you are. Yeah.
I was singing show tunes, trying to make it in the music business. There it is. So you could see, here's what happened though. Just a box house. So you go in, to the right is the living room, which we would call the parlor.
The parlor.
And then a dining room, and then the kitchen. And then you go upstairs, and there's, over the porch is the little room where me and Tommy had bunk beds. And then the one to the right, there was a front one. There'd be two girls in there. And then the one behind it was my parents' room. Okay. But then what my dad did and his buddy, he did the basement. I mean, he did the attic over.
Okay.
And so he split it up and somehow put two girls on one side, one girl on the other. And then there was another tiny room that my sister. So at one time, I don't think there was ever 9, because when I was born, my sister Judy moved to New York because she's an actress and she went down there to chase her dreams. So there you have it.
And so you grew up in this all the way till what?
I grew up there till I was 10. My parents separated. They wouldn't divorce because my mother was Catholic. They're separated. We moved to another town when I was 10. Then we came back closer. Then we moved back when I was 13, but in the basement, which my mother called the bunker.
Okay.
And so we stayed in, and then 15, 16, we moved out, and then I eventually bought a house when I was 17. And then I moved in.
You bought a fucking house at
17. Big old one. Put that up. So I went from here to 215 Warren Street. Get a load of this bad boy.
Oh, this is you?
That's it. 17, yeah.
You went from that little house.
Yeah.
You bought this.
We're moving on up.
Oh, yeah. This is your next house.
That was it. 1740. It was built. 1740 had an acre of land. This is like basically in Boston.
Awesome.
And
1740.
Part of the Underground Railroad.
That's before the fucking United States is even a thing.
Yeah. Underground Railroad. Mm-hmm. There's a den to the left as you walk in. You open the closet, the floor opened up, and that's where you hide people.
Wow.
Underground Railroad. It was mostly the land. I mean, I don't know how many. Yeah, it was 1, 2, 3, 4, like 5 bedrooms.
Are you getting to enjoy it at all, though, or are you always gone?
It was yes and no. Over time, it was a special place, but it's not normal for a 17-year-old to have a house and then play head of the house while your siblings are moving in and out and you're living with your mother.
So mom's living there with you?
Sure is.
Are you throwing any parties or anything like that?
Yeah.
You still have high school buddies at all?
Boy, yeah. There were some late nights. There you go. See that?
That's whole property.
That's an acre, bro. I mean, you're talking about
you and everything here.
And you're not in the suburbs. You're in You're basically in Boston. This is Brookline, which is the fanciest suburb and the closest to Boston. Yeah. So you're downtown's right there. See how close that is?
You're right next
to it. And if you look at the suburban vibe, it's the closest there. So damn, you are killing it on the map, girl.
She's the shit.
Damn. You should work for the FBI.
Kirsten's the shit. Wow, 17. Yeah. So what do you? Let's go a little younger when you're back to that house. What are you doing? What's the summer like for you or family? Are you guys? You got so many of you. Are you vacation family? If so, are you driving? Are you flying? Like, did you ever take a fucking plane vacation with all of you? First time you're on a plane.
No, the biggest thing before I was famous, we would go down to Cape Cod.
Okay.
And when you were a kid, that was like
there
awesome.
a place you go?
You know the Melody Tent? Have you heard of the Melody Tent?
I do not know the Melody.
So the Melody Tent is a very famous sort of rock and roll venue, but a lot of
look at that. Okay,
everybody played there from frickin' James Taylor to George Carlin. I played there a couple of years ago, and guess who came up and did 10 minutes?
Who? Adam Ray.
Bill Burr.
No, really? I know you know Adam.
I know Adam
Bill
too.
Burr, hell yeah, dude. This is very much, Baltimore has one called Pier 6.
Yeah, this is like the newer version. These are newer pictures. But
and, Carlin had performed. Yeah, this is great.
Yeah. So, we would go down for a couple of weekends. And
who were you seeing
back then? Look at that's Judy Garland down there. She played there too, probably.
Who was your first concert?
Cyndi Lauper.
How old were you?
Maybe 11 or 12.
That's a good one. I love Cyndi Lauper.
Yeah, she was great.
Who took you?
My friend Greg Allen. He was 2 years older. He was like the cool kid going to middle school. And I remember I came over, classic, came over to his house. My dad dropped me off, and I'm at the end of the stairs, and he comes down to the landing, and he's got his get up, and he's got a handkerchief wrapped around his like not looking anything like whatever. And he looks down at me and I'm wearing like regular clothes and he goes, "That's what you're wearing?" Fuck you, Greg. Yeah, that's what I wore.
Where was it? Where'd you go see her?
Concerts on the Common.
Was that
so
like
Boston
an outdoor?
Common. It was like Boston Common.
Yeah.
And it was right at in front of the State House and right in Boston.
Oh, that's cool. They would do them there?
Yeah.
Like a summer series or something like that?
Oh, it was a big deal. Yeah, I don't know why they don't do that anymore.
You should do that.
Yeah. Bring it back.
Why don't you do one? At least do one. Get it started again.
Concerts on the Common.
There you go. That's cool.
You wonder why they don't do things like that anymore,
What about, you ever get grounded for fucking up?
I was pretty good. I mean, my mom was so good with the guilt. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like I never really crossed the line.
What about sports? Did you play sports growing up? Little league?
I liked it, but I never did organized sports. My brother did, but I was so little. I tell the story about I was in Pop Warner. Do they call it Pop Warner down? Okay. And I was 6. You remember the pads back then? They were freaking massive. Yeah. I was too little and weak to button my chin strap.
Come on, dude.
Those big stupid helmets.
Yeah, they
and
were.
And what the problem was, I had to ask the coach who was a drunk because they all were back in the 70s. They were all angry drunks for some reason. That was allowed.
My coach was drinking and smoking cigarettes while he talked.
Oh, totally. And I was damn. So that I was done. I remember coming home like, "Dad, I'm all set." He's like, "Don't worry about it. It's fine." I was like, "Yeah."
As a family, did you guys ever have any games you created amongst yourselves?
Oh, games. By the way, we adopted Boston College as our team. And my grandfather went there on my mom's side. My sister teaches there now. But we loved Boston College.
Did you watch the Flutie game? You're that age.
I was the Flutie game. I saw him come off the bench.
Wait, you were at the game?
That season, yes.
No.
That season, bro.
Oh, hell
They went from, 0-11 to Doug Flutie.
Fucking Flutie, yeah.
Flutie time.
And then he goes and does it again in the NFL with the Bills, which is nuts.
Something else.
Kirsten, you got some questions we want to ask him about his youth?
Like any sibling rivalries or...
Yeah, my brother, he was almost 4 years older than me, so it wasn't like intense. He was like the big brother.
Man, so that's the closest sibling is a 4-year
yeah,
gap? Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It got tighter early on, and then, and we'll be back. Wow. Yeah, it got looser
sure
after
did.
winning. Oh my God. Well, that's what my mother would say. They were falling out of me. Oh my God. Thank God they kept going though, bro. Right?
Yeah, there's no you if they don't keep going.
Still, they
Mom's
were
a
still cooking.
soldier, bro.
They were still cooking.
Your mom is a soldier.
Yo, that's why I can't. That's why I can't get down on Catholicism too much, or else I wouldn't be here.
You would not be here if it wasn't for that. That's true, dude.
Yeah, my brother fought and whatever. Me and my brother, but we weren't too close in age where it was like a huge rivalry because he was so much older than me. But we had good times, and he was a sweet older brother, and we would, but nothing too heavy. Being the baby, you're like sort of removed from all that sibling rivalry stuff.
And you got a lot of cushion ahead of you that they've been. I mean, I can't even believe parents gave a shit at all after the 9th kid. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
Right. And plus it was the 80s, and they just
definitely in the 80s.
come home when the lights come on, and that was it.
Let's talk about TV shows. What are you watching growing up? Like, what are you sitting down and getting dialed into? Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, Dukes of Hazzard was one, definitely.
Joey McIntyre, the other night I sat down, I put YouTube on my big TV, and I just watched General Lee jumps.
Ooh.
Just a string cut of all just General Lee jumps.
I saw. Did you see the clip of all the hood jumps when he jumps on the hood?
I just saw it the other day where
there's
they're
like
all
32
sliding
of them.
across. Yeah, and it's even the Duke boys, the Vance and Coy. Remember them? Oh, Joe.
The Duke brothers? Of course, brother.
No, Bo and Duke.
Bo and Duke, yeah.
And then there was Vance and Coy. Do you remember when?
Come on, bro.
Do you remember when they went?
When they jumped the shark? What are you
Yes.
talking about? I didn't know
You don't know about this?
The season 17?
Look up Vance and Coy Duke.
Come on,
Dukes of
man.
Hazzard.
This is sacrilege.
So I guess there were look, I'm wrong a lot, but I guess there were contract disputes, and Bo and Luke were holding out, and they were like, "Fuck."
And then
it.
the other ones came
so
back.
The network
Did they come
said
back afterwards?
They sure. What do you think? I mean, I almost went to therapy when these guys came on TV. I'm like, what? And look what they did. If you're a diehard Duke fan,
from here you can't tell.
the dark hair guy is wearing the yellow shirt, which Bo used to wear, the blonde.
Damn.
That's all they did. Get kind of lookalikes.
What I love is the other two aren't missing the other two at all. The Bo and Duke, they're like, no, we're
like,
fine.
We'll
Look at
keep this check.
Yeah.
Yep. So they come on for a hot second, and everyone's like,
and then they
this
pass it
sucks. And then they come. Then I guess they agreed to the contract, and the Duke boys come back.
Bro.
The OG Duke. You didn't know about this?
Bro, that's a movie.
Yeah, that happens.
Start
right there.
pitching that movie, bro. Let's write that movie.
Look at that, dude.
Think about that. That's hilarious.
That happened, dude. I remember we were like, what are we gonna fucking do without Bo and Luke Duke, for Christ's sake?
This is crazy.
Coy
Can you
ain't getting it
imagine
done.
the freaking the atmosphere on the set that day?
No.
When they come back and be like, I hope you had fun because you're gone now.
Yep, you're done.
Oh my gosh, golly
I recommend
gee.
if you're a Dukes of Hazzard fan, I recommend sitting and watching
a
fucking power cut of the General Lee jumps. You seeing how they just tear that car apart.
I mean, starting with this.
This was revolutionary.
And early, sitting on my sister's lap watching Sha Na Na, and then into Donnie and Marie.
Oh, we're gonna good for you.
And then you get this.
There you go. Look at these
Whoa.
jumps. Look at this. This was the shit when you were a kid.
Legit.
Look at that, dude. They're really doing these stunts. Look at that.
You know what? I didn't think of that.
The camera work on it. Somebody's really doing that. I'd like to know the budget of all these cars over the years.
I know. There
Look
must have
at
been
that.
a ton of them, right?
Look at that.
I like, and then you
And
cut to
Waylon
it, and
Jennings
it's
is
in
narrating?
pristine.
Oh, that's a
it's
good
in
one.
pristine
Yeah.
shape when it comes
Yeah.
back.
That's a great one right there. That car is
Damn.
trashed. And Waylon Jennings is just telling us to hold on. Look,
Look
at that, dude. It's
crazy. Look at the freaking gangsters. Freaking Bonnie and Clyde.
Yeah, it's great.
This week on Bonnie and Clyde.
Kirsten, put Sha Na Na on. I remember Bowser was the guy I remember most. Yeah.
Play the piano on the sleeve. Go,
Look at
Johnny.
these intros.
I like the guy who used to. He didn't even eat. Did you notice he didn't even eat?
I did now. He's not writing shit. Look at this.
Remember when older people would get cast?
Soupy sales.
Look at these people. They're all 50 and up.
Dude, I say this
and they were playing teenagers.
The time.
Why can't we get hired like
you
50,
watch?
why can't 50-year-olds get hired like they were in the 80s?
I watch Smokey and the Bandit. Those ladies, when they pull into the prostitutes, they're ladies in their 40s and 50s in a trailer. They're not hot 20-somethings.
Ladies in waiting to die.
Yeah. All right, Sha Na Na. What else?
That looks like old boy from Step Brothers or whatever. What's
John
guy?
C. Reilly?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just like when the guy played
This was a show. That's it. The gold suits. That's what I remember.
I didn't know they had that much choreography.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I didn't know they were gay either.
Bowser and all these guys. Sha Na Na.
Look at John C. Reilly getting down.
Look at him. That's Ron C. Reilly right there.
Ron
His dad,
C.
man.
Reilly. Where's the guy on the piano? I wonder what they thought when they brought those gold costumes into these rock and roll guys and said, put these on, bitch.
What about, did you watch Solid Gold? Were you into Solid Gold? Look that one up, Kirsten.
Hell yeah.
Solid Gold and Soul Train.
Hell
you
yeah.
You had to be into those, of course.
Soul Train, New Kids were on Soul Train in 88.
You guys made it on Soul Train? Is that right?
Yeah, but Solid Gold was the jam.
Solid Gold
Do
dancers.
it to me one more time. Life will never end. That, if there was a ballad that was synonymous with that show, I think it's that one. I sent a clip of this to my brother Tommy. We would watch it and just get such a kick out of it, but admire it.
Mm-hmm.
You weren't laughing at this stuff. You were in.
These girls were like the Solid Gold dancers were like a different Dallas Cowboy cheerleader.
But we went from this to talk about a level up, like upgrade to literally must see TV. I mean, Cosby Show, Family Ties, and Cheers, bro.
Oh, bro.
From that to
Taxi.
that.
Oh, yeah.
Taxi was sort of like the bridge.
It was late 70s, early 80s.
You know, I know we talk about it all the time.
That Thursday.
That must see TV. That Thursday.
Thursday was great.
Cosby, Family Ties, and Cheers.
And then Night Court right after Cheers.
Yeah, it was all right.
I was a Night Court fan. I love me some Harry Anderson.
It was
Marshall
okay.
Warfield.
It was all right.
I'm a big Marshall Warfield fan over here.
Welcome Back, Kotter. That's
what I wanted to ask.
When I was into it, but that was after school by then. That was in syndication when I really got into it.
There it is. Cosby Show.
Yep.
Family
Cheers,
Ties,
Night
Cheers.
Court.
That's right. Hill Street Blues was the late one. Yeah, that was all right. Get to bed. Hill Street Blues is on.
You heard the piano playing. You're gone.
Yeah.
You're gone.
We talked about this too.
But on Friday nights, you got to watch Johnny Carson.
Yeah.
Trying to stay up for Johnny Carson.
Was Dukes of Hazzard Friday night? I think that was our big Friday night.
I think so.
I was our get home from school Friday nights Dukes of Hazzard.
I think so.
I educated Kirsten. Kirsten, how old are you again? 26, 7. We showed her the it's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are commercial? She was like, what? Do you remember that?
Sort of, kind of.
Your ass was out in Japan and shit. They probably didn't know where the fuck you were. So this was literally.
It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are? I think we have the most recognizable tagline in New York television history. It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are?
Then they would do them with celebrities. It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are? And that was right before Hill Street Blues came on. And that's back when, if you had 9 kids, you're like, oh,
just
my
a
God,
heads up.
Where are the fucking kids?
Yeah, because you didn't have phones. You couldn't
right.
just look at your phone and see where your kid is.
Do you know where your fucking kids are, bro? Yeah.
Can you imagine the responses across America to the TV? No, to you son of a bitch. High, drunk, pissed. I mean, that's.
Yep. What's your first car?
My first car.
First ever.
Aside from, we all signed autographs for an hour and they gave us Suzuki sidekicks for a month. And then a lot of us bought them.
What do you mean for a month? You just got to use it for a month?
Yeah.
And then you could decide at the end to buy or not?
We decided all to buy them.
Okay.
So it doesn't really count. My first car was, you saw me coming up.
That's your first?
Well, no, it was the hard top of that. It was the non-convertible version.
So you pulled up in a 90 what?
1990. This is a 1993 300 CE Cabriolet Mercedes. I said if they ever come out with a hardtop, yep, that one.
That's what you had first?
That was my first car.
And did you buy it brand new?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because you're making your money then.
We were doing, yes.
So if you don't mind me asking, back then, this is what, 93? What did it cost?
I don't remember that one because less than 2 years later.
But this one, sorry to interrupt, this was the one that had the wipers on the fucking headlights, right? Aren't they down there?
I got that too. Mine don't work anymore because it's 33 years old.
The shit.
But that, now go to 1993 300 CE Cabriolet, so 93.
And this is what you got right after it?
That was it. Is that
so
a black
you had two Mercedes?
No, I traded it in.
Oh, gotcha.
So I went from that to that.
So, and that's what you basically pulled up in.
That is a 1993. I got it in November of 92. And I still have it. I'm the only owner. It's right outside the studio.
And how many miles on that thing?
It's 13 miles shy of 80,000.
Well, I don't know. Let's just call it 80,000. How many years have you had it?
33. 33. It'll be 30.
Like 2,000, a little over 2,000 miles a year. It's not even 3,000 miles a year.
It sat in a couple of garages at certain times. It's been out to LA, back to Boston, out to LA, back to Boston, and now it's back out to LA. Shipped.
It had to be with that mileage.
Shipped, but it's been around.
It's beautiful, though.
And my son took my car.
Which is what?
Is a electric Volvo. Wasn't ready to be a Volvo guy, but my favorite car ever.
You? Yeah.
Yeah, because it's an electric. It buzzes around. It's the XC40.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, they talk about how safe they are.
Yeah.
It really says it's fun because it's safe.
Yeah.
You can buzz around. It's all electric. That's it.
They're fast as fuck too. Electric cars aren't.
Dude, they buzz. They buzz. So.
All right, I'm going to say this last
So
thing
now I said I got to bring that out because I'm not going to have another car payment in the family, even though he could buy it. I said, save your money, use mine. I'll bring the Benz out.
Do you get a lot of looks
from that?
Yeah,
it's sweet.
There's guys my age it'll be like
big time. Clean, actually, bro. I do. From our demo, they're like, "Yo!" The other day, I'm like, "Yeah,
yeah." They get excited.
This Mexican dude was like, "Yo!" I'm like, "Yeah, okay, I hear you." Yeah, it's cool. It's like. That kind of nostalgia, it just hits you. You know what I mean? It's like you can't even control it. You're like, whoa,
Look up this real quick, Kirsten. Look up like a 79 Dodge Omni.
That was your first one, huh?
No, it's not mine. You just made me that blue one right there. That guy. Okay. My buddy's grandfather used to pick us up.
I'm sorry. That was one of my brother's first cars. Oh, yeah? And that was one of the first cars I drove, bro.
I had a stick shift one?
No, it was
automatic. He had one of each. He had one of each.
Roomy as a bastard, too. Like, you could roll around in that front seat, right? Yeah.
For a little car, you could. His grandfather would take us to school sometimes in the morning, but it was rust colored. And it was a stick shift, his.
Damn.
And
it wasn't that old, but it was probably that version.
Well, it's not old.
See the roominess of it?
Yeah, look how big it is. Yep. So
crazy.
This is a couple years ago. I see one of these. It's parked outside of McDonald's, but I can tell someone's living in it. But I can't get over the fact that it's gold just like his grandfather. We're still friends.
Yeah.
So I take a picture of it.
Yeah.
And when that fucking flash goes off, this guy pops up in the car. He's like, "You got a fucking problem?" I was like, "Bro, I didn't know you were living in here."
Oh, my God.
And we end up having the greatest. I go, "You don't understand. I'm not clowning you or anything."
Yeah.
This car, I haven't seen this car. Is that a 79? It is. I'm like, is it a stick? It is. I'm like, my friend's great. And then we end up having a nice conversation about it, but it was a nice nostalgia.
Did you move in with him?
I got in the back. It was roomy enough, bro. It was roomy enough to get up front.
Listen, I don't have a place to stay tonight. You mind? My brother would, under the floor mat, he'd throw his change there.
That's where he would keep it?
Yeah, well, he was 18.
Not in an ashtray.
He was a bricklayer, so he had a great job for an 18-year-old. He was making bank. I would go into his room all the time and take 20. We're even by now, by the way. Okay, I paid that back.
I'll bet.
But he would just like, Yeah, it's play money at that age. You know, you're still living at home. But I remember he'd just leave like tons of change under the doormat. Yeah, for some reason.
Do you remember? We'll get out of here on this. Kirsten, look this up. Volvo, false advertising, put roll tire on roof. Put that. Okay. So, so they got in trouble. They did all this bullshit, and then they would have a they make it look. See if you can find monster truck crushes Volvo. They would do this whole monster truck thing, but right when it got on the roof, they close up on the tire, and it would dent, but it wouldn't crush the car and shit. And it ends up they get and then look, then it gets crushed in an ad rebuttal. So they ended up getting in trouble in like 89, 90 for lying about the safety of their car. Oh. That was the whole thing. Everyone thought Volvos were safe because we would see shit like this. You're like, God damn it.
They pushed it too
and
far.
It's all bullshit. It was all bullshit. They got in trouble. They got in trouble for this shit, dude. Look at
they
that.
did a lot of that.
Oh, so much. And then they finally had to be like, hey, you know what? I got all bullshit.
We were making a thing of it. We were just making a thing.
Dude, thank you for coming on here and doing this. This was great, man. Right there, promote everything again that you'd like.
I like walks on the beach. Big coffee guy. I'm JoeyMcIntyre.com. I don't know about my favorite color. Orange right now.
That's nice.
Oh, Orioles.
There you go, bro.
Big O.
Thank you. Thanks, you very much.
Thank you. Thanks for the ride.
You got it, brother. As always, Ryan Sickler on all your social media. We'll talk to you all next week.